sometimes when the word next level or the terminology next level is used, sometimes it's done just to be slang or athletic or philosophical. But in most instances, it has a positive connotation. You know, well, let me take that back. Sometimes it's a negative connotation because the next level could be a decrease or a level down. But that's not the case today. We're going to have this phenomenal interview on a program called The Next Level, but it is meant the next level upward, the next level in a positive direction, the next level in a meaningful direction, and the next level in an effective direction. And so we're so happy today to have Miss Lakesia. Lakesia, I always say, sometimes I say Shaw and sometimes I say Saw. So pronounce your first name for me.
It is Lakesia.
Lakesia,
Lakesia.
okay.
Yes, sir.
It's Lakesia Toomer. Some people just watch this. Some people just run through errors, but I don't run through errors because I want to be correct.
That's
You
right.
know, and sometimes it's to be corrected on the spot. So I really, really appreciate that. But on a serious note, Lakeisha is a executive director of a phenomenal program. And I don't know whether you remember it or not. You might be too young to remember. But youth development, mentoring, and enhancement is close to my heart because, several years ago, I started a program called the Adopt a Role Model Program,
Mhm.
which was a mentoring program specifically for African American boys, because I know the role that mentorship and programs and education. I mean, look, I understand how effective that can be. Now, let me say this before I turn it over. Kids are not born bad. They are not born negative. So they are products
Right.
of their environment and their experiences. So anytime there's any kind of activity in the community or any kind of program, designed specifically to provide a positive environment and positive activities for young people, then that's really effective and that goes a long way. So we're
Right.
just so happy. We're just so happy to have the next level. Now, the next level has been around how long, Lakeisha?
We will celebrate 25 years on June the 9th.
Wow, wow, since I was 12. You go, girl. Yeah,
That's
for,
right.
for 25 years. So let's just walk. Hey, watch this. Let's A to Z the next level. Because you've done something right, to have been in existence for 25 years. So, just kind of give us a good overview with examples and missions and statements and projects and programs and activities and everything so that we, first of all, or second or third, whichever one it is, uh, we want to congratulate you
Thank you.
and build Mount Zion
Thank
and
you.
all of the entities,
Thank
my
you.
good friend, he who called me the GOAT, Pastor Little,
Yes, sir.
it means so much. Now, and then the fifth, sixth, or seventh thing I want to say, too often, good programs are overlooked. That we accentuate the negative too much. And I
Mhm.
think it would make us a better community if we familiarize the positive. So
Yes.
that's what we're doing today, Miss Lakeisha. We are familiarizing the positive as it relates to the next level. Take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Havisham, and thank you. You were a part of my village as a Macedonia Baptist Church member. I grew up and was raised in Macedonia, and so the Havishams were very important people in our lives and to our church. And so, thank you for all you did there, and thank you for all you've done for our community. I think you and I are on the same page. I don't believe that children are bad either. I believe that children are absolutely a product of their environment. I believe that they react and respond to undiagnosed medical disorders, mental disorders, and trauma that they have experienced in their lives. And so that's one of the things that we really are intentional about here at Next Level is we understand that we have to deal with underlying issues in order for us to see changes in behavior with our young people. But let me tell you a little bit about who we are. You're right. We started as an outreach ministry of Big Mount Zion Baptist Church, and 25 years ago, we became a separate nonprofit and became incorporated and still work and operate under the arms of Big Mount Zion Baptist Church, but we are a community-based organization. We serve at risk, and as I said to my parents at a parent session on Tuesday, I believe in so many ways all children are at risk. So we don't define that specifically. I believe they're at risk for different things, but they are all at risk. And so we serve at risk and marginalized youth through an after school program, a summer program, and we have a leadership academy. We've been doing this, like I said, it'll be 25 years on June the 9th of this year. And I was honored and privileged to be asked to start this nonprofit and to allow God to use me in impacting this community and serving young people. And I have felt so super blessed to be able to do this. I actually left my job in corporate America after 10 years with State Farm Insurance Company and took a leap of faith to start this nonprofit. And I am still in awe that we are still here almost 25 years later. It's like nothing but the grace of God and the hand of God. Our mission here is to educate, enlighten, and empower young people and their families to make healthy lifestyle choices. Our vision is to transform the lives of youth and families by motivating, inspiring, and challenging them to reach their full potential. You might ask what we do. I told you we have an after-school program, a summer program, and a leadership academy. I told you we serve kids that are 5 to 18, but we're an academic-based program with the youth development component. Academics is huge to us. We think it's important that we make sure our children understand the importance of valuing education. So academics tend to be a priority here at Next Level. We're not like your typical after-school or summer program where the kids kind of come and they have a snack and they do homework and they go home. No, we're pretty rigorous. I tell the team, we are rigorous, relevant, and relational. So everything that we do, we want our young people to have some sort of an academic gain with it. So we are prevention-based, and we really reach out to the most vulnerable and the young. One of the good things about Next Level is that we have students that have started our program at age 5, and they graduate out of our program in the 12th grade. So they spent 10, 12 years with us, and then they leave here and they go on to pursue college educations at post-secondary institutions. The students here, they come for the academic support, but we believe they stay with us because of the relationships, which this program is built off of. Again, you can't reach children if they don't trust you. And so it's important to us to build relationships with our young people. They're not transactions for us. They are young people that we care about, that we love. They become a part of our family. And we believe that that's a lot of the reason why they stick with us. Now, while we are a free program, we do believe that we have to have some type of investment from our parents. So we have these quarterly mandatory parent empowerment sessions, and our parents must attend those sessions in order for the students to participate in the program. That's our only requirement, but it is a requirement. And so with that being said, we pretty much have a 100% parent participation rate. Our parents show up for all of our parent sessions. In February, we had Superintendent Sims to come, and he spoke to the parents. We probably had in excess of 300 parents here. And so it was an opportunity for him to talk about the absenteeism problem that we currently have in our district, and an opportunity for them to ask questions and address any of their concerns with him. So we really do create a platform where we can actually get all the parents in one room. And when there are issues concerning our community that need to be addressed with parents, then we have a place where those people that need to have those tough conversations can have them with our program. We believe that exposing our youth beyond this area, we want them to see more than just the city of Macon. We believe that when children are exposed, then they dream. And when they dream, they begin to want to set goals. And then we step in and we're part of being the accountability piece in helping them achieve their goals. And we love doing that. At our after school program, we offer homework assistance. We offer individual and small group tutoring. We offer Georgia Milestone Prep. You know, the kids are starting to take that this week. We
All
also do
right.
SAT and ACT prep. And we do one-on-one remediation sessions because we know that when the pandemic hit, some of our young people really got lost in that. And so some of them cannot learn in a small group setting. They need one-on-one individual attention. And so we offer that for those children that are in need. As it relates to youth development, we offer abstinence education, leadership sessions, bullying and violence prevention, financial literacy, mental health awareness. Our parents and our students, as a part of this program, they can get individual and or family counseling or both if they need it for as long as they need it. We do not cut our families off because, again, we understand if they don't deal with those underlying issues, then negative behaviors, risky behaviors will continue to repeat itself. And then, of course, we have a huge college and career component where our students are college ready when they leave our program. They've toured colleges as far south as Bethune-Cookman and Florida State University to as far north as Princeton University. So we make sure that we expose them here.
That's outstanding. Well, a couple of things. Thank you so much. I mean, for that very, very thorough analysis and presentation on what you all do. But I'll tell you what I want to do, with your permission.
Mhm.
And I think it's important to the community. You know, it's obviously it's important the next level. But talk a little bit more about parental involvement.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I just think because it takes a village
It does.
and the whole community needs to do better.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether your child is in private school or how much money you got or what have you. We all have to have an interest in education because of the role that education plays in the development and the advancement of our community. But we
Okay.
got these absenteeisms, you know, not at next level, but in the school system.
Mhm.
Uh, we got, you know, the lack of, excuse me, the lack of parental involvement. And I just realized how much that could mean, you know, as it relates to violence, as it relates to economic development, as it relates to education, as it relates to spirituality, you know. So I mean, it's just something that we need to talk about. So, you know, just talk a little bit more about how you get them involved, what they do, what do you think maybe some of the steps
Mhm.
that are used?
Mhm.
Because I think next level, based on what you said, is a model, if you please, that
Okay.
can uplift the entire community. That's something in which we're all interested. So talk a little bit more about that.
Well, I will say that you said it right. It takes a village. You know, we can work as hard as we want to work here, but if we don't have the support or the cooperation of the parents, it's really hard. So we have what we call a holistic approach. And so we don't just serve the children. When we take the children into our programs, we agree to serve the entire family. And so a lot of times our young people come and they're the ones that are being presented as if they are the problem. But the reality is, in most cases, it is the parent that actually has the issue,
Wow.
and they're manifesting themselves through the behavior of the young person. Well, I think as community-based organizations, I think as faith-based organizations and community leaders, I think we have to be wise enough to see that. And I think that we have to love on the parents as much as we love on the children. We're expecting broken parents to raise healthy children, and that's just not going to happen. And so we've got to be willing to see that for what it is, and we've got to be able to let them know. So just like we're building relationships with their children, we build relationships with those parents. So just like we have an accountability piece with our young people, we want to make sure you're getting your homework done. We want to make sure you're preparing for these tests, you're preparing for college. We also have an accountability piece with our parents. So whatever we have in place, whatever intervention program or model we have in place for the young people, those parents have to be a part of that. But it starts starts with letting them know that they're not some type of project, that we're a family. And we're just working to make sure that our children, their children, and our children, we share them during this process of them being a part of our program. We're working together to try to raise whole, healthy young people. And it's going to take all of us, because you got to have a relationship with the parent to say to the parent, I think you're going to need to talk to somebody. I think there is some trauma, maybe some childhood trauma that has not been addressed, that may be manifesting itself in the household in front of the children, and they're taking that on. You just can't say that. There has to be a relationship there first, and they have to trust you. So we're very intentional about building these strong relationships. And we don't just offer the academic support to the children. We don't just offer the counseling to the children and the families, but we're whatever the families need. So if we can't provide the resource, then we make a referral so that they can get the proper resource. But whether they're in need of housing, whether they're in need of credit recovery, whether they're in need of trying to get a GED, if they're trying to go back to college, if they are unemployed, and there's been a series of months where they've been trying to get a job and can't find a job, we're going to bring them in. We're going to look at their resume. We're going to help them edit their resume, get them a cover letter, actually sit down with them and go through looking for jobs with them, make sure that they're applying and they're applying in the right way, and see them through that process. So we're there for the families just as much as we are there for the children. But I think the biggest issue is that we have a lot of broken parents that we are expecting to raise healthy children. And I think we can spend all day long passing the blame. Well, the parents need to do it. I think we just have to make sure we do our part. We do the best we can do. And I think we have to make sure that we see that the parents are hurting just as much, and we serve them as well and as much as we are serving their children.
Girl, you own to something. I'm telling you, because I wanted you to. Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna blow the roof off, but I'm glad you did. Uh, I wanted you to kind of expound on that because I understand what that can mean for our community. And a lot of parents, need to hear it. Not only parents, but there are other organizations, there are other similar organizations that maybe have not thought about it that could use, because everybody wants to, we got a lot of nonprofits.
Mhm,
We got a lot of programs that deal with youth development,
mhm,
but I don't know if we got many that are as successful as Next Level is. So I
mhm,
think it's important that that information that you just gave us is disseminated throughout the community, not just for absorption
mhm.
and retention, but also for action.
That's right.
Because we all want, the future can be very bright,
That's right.
but it just ain't gonna fall out the sky by and by.
That's
That
right.
there are some actions that need to be taken, particularly with our young people, particularly in the area of education, particularly in the area of spiritual development and economic development. So that holistic approach, obviously,
Mhm,
is making a difference. And I just wanted the entire community, both the parents and the other organizations, to become familiar with the
mhm.
next level. See, that's the next level.
Thank you.
That's the next level as it relates to trying to influence and affect and be meaningful for young people. So
Mhm,
talk specifically about some of the things that you all do, specifically the programs and activities and maybe the tutoring approach, the academic approach, just some of the steps that you all take in being such an effective program for 25 years come June.
Yes, exactly right. Well, we see each individual as an individual. So uh, we treat them as individuals. And so everybody needs something different. So when our students are here, we develop and create what we call individualized student plans. And that looks different based on the child that we're serving, right? Their backgrounds are different, their household are different, how they learn may be different. And we make sure that we're intentional in paying attention to that and we make sure we serve them according to that. With that being said, we have certified teachers here. All of our lead teachers are certified teachers. Most of them are very much experienced and expertise in their areas, whether it be math or ELA. They have their own areas of expertise, and we try to tap into that. We also have licensed, certified youth development teachers here that are actually certified in all of the evidence-based curriculums that we use. So for our youth development programs like drug and alcohol prevention, gang violence prevention, absence education, sex education prevention, all of those youth development sessions are taught by educators that have been trained and certified in those evidence-based curriculums. And with that being said, it goes to the fact that we have 99% of the students that we've served over the last 24 and a half years have remained pregnancy-free. We've only had one person to get pregnant in the program, one. And that's one thing that we're pretty proud of. We're pretty proud of that. We have a 100% high school graduation rate. 92% of the students that we serve, they leave high school and go to college, and they're typically attending colleges that they toured while they were here at this program. 98% retention rate. I think I mentioned to you, the kids come at age 5 and 98% of them stay with us. And as I said, a 100% parent participation rate. But I think those statistics are what they are because I think our parents and our children know that we love them, that we support them, that we are here to help them achieve those goals that they've set for themselves. And they know that we will jump through all types of hoops to make it happen for them. There are no big I's and little U's here. Everybody is everybody, and everybody is somebody here at this program. And that's something that we too take pride in. And I think all of the families truly feel like they are a part of a family while they're here at Next Level. We served over 16,000 youth in the over 24 and a half years, and we served over 9,000 parents, meaning we've had that many parents to come and sit in our parent sessions. You know, we were talking about how the parents and their decision making affect the children. And last February, we had someone to come in and speak, and the topic of the parent session was, "Are you really standing on business?" And so, you know, there's a little slang where the parents say, "I stand on business." So we said,
Right.
"Are you really standing on business?" And that question was about, are you leading by example? If you are telling your child to abstain from drugs and alcohol, are you doing that? If you are telling them that they should be valuing education, do you value education? Whatever it is that you're expecting of them, are you also modeling it? Or are you saying to them, "You don't do what I do, you do what I say"? That's not going to work.
Nope.
That's not going to work. They're going to typically repeat what they see. And so we need for you to model what it is that you expect in your children. And again, we hold parents accountable as it relates to that. We really do.
Yeah, that is so outstanding. Well, I know that after just about 25 years and 16,000 students and 9,000 parents, there have to be resources to help fund the program. You know, so talk a little bit about funding, and in doing so, you know, talk about what kind of assistance the community can provide. And I know you probably got, I know it's probably hard to get in the next level, but just talk about the application process. And then I hope you can remember everything I asked you because I can't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to say it's not so hard to get into next level. We do have, we're pretty much, we're usually ahead of everybody when it comes to our summer camp application process. When I say ahead of everybody, we do it pretty early. So we start taking applications for summer camp the Monday after Thanksgiving. So that's real early for a lot of people. So what ends up happening a lot of times is parents don't really want to start thinking about summer camp until now, until the end of April, the 1st of May. And we have typically already accepted all of our kids. We have 252 children that we've accepted for Camp Zion 2025. We've already had 2 parent sessions where the parents have come out and they've been oriented, and then they've met with Dr. Sims. And so we have to start that early because we want to make sure that we provide quality programming. So our team starts to plan the first Thursday in January. We start planning for this summer camp and we meet every other week up until summer camp starts. And so we need to know our numbers because it costs. So while it's free to the parents that we serve, we all know that it costs somebody. We've been blessed to be funded by Georgia Department of Education and Georgia Department of Family and Children's Services. So we do receive funding, federal funding, and that funding has to be matched, meaning if our grant from Georgia Department of Education is $95,000, we have to receive $1 for each dollar that they give us, right? And that's not the case with Georgia Department of Education. That is the case with Georgia Department of Family and Children's Services. Theirs is a match. So for every dollar that they give us, we have to match it with the dollar. And that's where we need the community support, because if we don't have the match, if we don't have donations to match what they've given us, then we can't get reimbursed. A lot of people don't understand that grant funding is not set up the way it was many, many years ago, where they just kind of put the money in a bank and you just draw it down. Not like that anymore. Most times grants are reimbursement, which means we have to pay for all of our expenses and then request reimbursement. Well, when we submit those reports to request that reimbursement, we also got to show them that if we're requesting $20,000, we've also raised $20,000. And if we don't raise $20,000, we can't get reimbursed the $20,000. And so we just could not do this. We couldn't have done it for the last 24 and a half years without our community, without Macon-Bibb County, without the individuals and companies within the community that have supported us. We've had companies like Stafford Builders that has supported us for all 24 years. Christy Jones CPA. And I would say that that's been one of the strengths of Next Level. Because I have an accounting degree, I knew dealing with federal and state dollars that it was going to cost us, but it was important that we have a CPA. And she took a chance on us and took us in, even though we couldn't afford her rate. And she's been with us all these years. Still managing our books, still holding us accountable, still making sure that we get an audit every year and it's always flawless and we don't have any findings. That's because of her and her leadership and protection of this organization. So, we can't do it without the community. We would love for you to check us out on our website at nextlevelmacon.org or check out our Facebook page or Instagram page. And we would love for you to consider making Next Level your charity of choice. We believe that we are changing habits and transforming lives here at Next Level. I shared with the group that I met with not too long ago that even Mayor Lester Miller, he came out to visit us. And one of the things he said was that our program sets the standard for our community. And he felt like we could be a model for the community, which is something you said earlier. And I thank you guys for that so very much. We've had Judge Young to talk about the fact that she rarely sees children that are part of Next Level in front of her. Because again, we have that huge accountability piece in place, and we just don't take our hands off our children once they start with us. So if you are looking for a charity of choice, please consider Next Level.
How do they donate?
You can donate by going to our website at www.nextlevelmacon.org, and there's a donate button there. Or you can always send a check to Next Level Community Development Center, and that address is 3268 Avondale Mill Road, Macon, Georgia, 31216.
Nothing succeeds like success, and this program has been phenomenally successful, and I can't begin to express. See, because, I'm in that same lane. You can make a difference in the lives of these children. It's got to be holistic, and you got to do whatever it takes.
That's
But I
right.
mean, the proof is in the pudding.
That's right.
And I think that's evidence in what Next Level has done over the years and will continue to do so. My heartfelt congratulations to you, your staff, and everybody that's involved. Bill Mott Zion and
Yes.
Pastor
Yes.
Little and everybody.
Absolutely. Yes.
And Christy, your CPA.
Yes.
And Sean and Walter Stafford,
Yes, yes,
you know,
yes.
all of the supporters.
Hmm.
And and I like the way she put it, y'all. Make Next Level your charity of choice.
Yes, 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 sir.
So I mean, I understand. I mean, it would be money well spent, and I certainly endorse it wholeheartedly. This is a call
Definitely.
to action. I'm your host, Alex Havisham, having interviewed Miss Lakesia Toomer, who's the executive director of the phenomenal Next Level program. I'm going to end with this comment. Keep up the good work.
www.makingblackpages.com